This video will demonstrate how to manipulate your survey data by using an Excel download. So again, in your survey responses, you'll want to go to the File menu and choose Download As, Microsoft Excel. Depending on what browser you use, will depend on where your download pops up. I'm in Chrome, so mine's down below. If you're in Firefox, it'll pop up above. Once you have that download, go ahead and double click to open it up, and it will open up in Microsoft Excel. Now that you have your data downloaded, it's time to manipulate it. Typically when I'm working with data, I want to make sure that I always keep my original information basically untarnished and unchanged. So in order to manipulate the data or to kind of separate things out, I would make multiple copies and put those copies on multiple sheets. Again, this is Excel, and this is what we call a workbook. And within a workbook, you can create multiple sheets to separate out your information. Down below on the bottom, just next to the word Form Response 1, there's a plus symbol where we can create a new sheet. Once you create a sheet, you'll want to give it a name that is specific to the type of data that you are collecting. In this case, the way the data is coming in, it looks like what makes sense to me is maybe separate my quarter 1 information from my quarter 2 information. So on my sheet, I will rename it. Just right click, rename to quarter 1, press enter, and I want to create a second sheet for quarter 2. Then for my original data, I will copy the components that I need. So I'll go to cell 2 or row 2 and copy all the way through row 15. Again, I'm just clicking and dragging. Right click copy or control C copy or copy on your screen up above. Go to quarter 1. I'm going to paste it in row 2 because in row 1 I will want to put my header row. I'll go back to Form Responses 1. Let's copy my data for quarter 2. Now granted, I don't have a lot of data. You all have much more data than I do, but at least you get the idea with the information that I have available to show you. Alright, so now I've got my quarter 1 information and my quarter 2 information. The other component that I mentioned is that I would like to copy my row 1, which is my header row, from so that I can remember what information that data is actually representing. So I'll go to the number 1, copy that row, go into quarter 2, paste it in cell A1, and do quarter 1, and same thing for quarter 2. All right, now taking a look at the data. This timestamp, personally, the timestamp really doesn't do too much for me, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that column. So if I just click on the A, right click, and delete the column, that column can go away. Now, I can see my data pretty good, but there might be, where I would like to see what this particular student wrote in their comment. So in order to expand your to make the data fit your cells, if you select the entire table, and that's by clicking up here in the top left hand corner, and then you can double click, and that will make the text fit, or make the column fit the text, and so then that's kind of spread out a little bit more. Now you don't have to do that, it's just if you want to be able to see the information. You can also reduce the size of your columns. There's even a wrap text option if you want to wrap text, but personally I like to see all my data, so I'm going to just go ahead and double click so that I can see everything. Completely up to you. Alright, let's continue to dive in a little bit deeper on manipulating your data. There is a component called filter that in both the Google and in Microsoft, and over on the right hand side you've got a sort and filter button, and if you choose the filter button, that then identifies your first column basically as a header row, and if you want to sort your information or filter out information, it gives you this nice little down arrow and gives you options to either sort A to Z, Z to A, or select items that are there. It's called the filter button. Now, before I begin to filter, one thing I'd like to maybe show teachers is there's a number of teachers have asked, I'd like to change my period 1 to my actual course name, or I'd like to change my block 1 to my actual course name. This filter button is pretty handy for that. Let's say, I'm going to just change a couple of these real quick to block 2. Okay, so let's say I want to filter out and only identify all of my Block 2 courses. So I'm going to click that little filter guy on the top right-hand corner of that cell. I'm going to just select Block 2. Now, for my Block 2, again, I would like to maybe rename that to Computers. And I would like to fill that down with my magical fill handle over here in the bottom right-hand corner of that screen and make them all computers. Let's say Block 4 now, instead it needs to be website. And with my magical fill handle, again the magical fill handle, and I'll kind of zoom in here so you can see what that magical fill handle is. Right here there's a little square in the bottom right hand corner of the cell, and if you hover over that square you get this little plus symbol. That is our fill handle, and as you click your mouse and then with your keypad begin to drag down, and you'll notice that website right here is kind of popping up. It's telling me that I'm copying and filling the word website down through my text. So that's a pretty easy way and a fast, easy way to change your course name, period name, whatever you want. Okay, and I'm zooming out. Great. So going back to the filter button, and I kind of showed an example. Let's say we want to sort this information by A to Z. You can just simply click that filter button. Now it's going to sort by this particular column, or at least the column that I'm currently in. So now it's going to sort teacher cares that I learned in this class. Here's my agrees and here's my strongly agrees. Now maybe you want to quickly count how many agrees and strongly agrees you have. If you select the cells on the bottom right hand corner, there is an option in Excel that gives you the count. So I can see that I've got 5 agrees and I have 9 strongly agrees. I can continue to move through all of my data and continue to sort by each column just to kind of get a sneak peek at what my students are thinking about my type of teaching. This concludes my information on manipulating data with an Excel download. If you have additional questions and would like to dive in a little bit deeper, please feel free to give me a call and I'll be more than happy to help. Thanks for watching.